Meg walks down the streets of New York with her friend. Meg and her daughter Sarah are looking for a new place to call home. Her friend excitedly tells her of a new property that became for sale, and they rush over to check it out. The realtor shows them the property, a large 3-story house built in the 1800s that was renovated before the previous owner's passing. The house looks luxurious and pricey, even containing a working elevator. Meg worries about the price, but her friend reminds her that her new ex-husband can afford it. The realtor shows them the best amenity in the house, a panic room in the master bedroom. The panic room has thick steel walls, a security camera station and phone line, as well as its own ventilation system, so that they can stay inside for days if needed. The realtor even proves the steel door is safe, showing that it has motion detectors to prevent it from slamming shut. Meg hesitates at the price, but decides to buy the house. Meg and Sarah have a quiet meal in their new house. Meg tells Sarah to be mindful of how much soda she's drinking because she's diabetic. Meg tucks Sarah into bed and finishes unpacking. She tries to understand her security system. She sets up the cameras but gives up and goes to bed before setting the alarm system. In the middle of the night, a car pulls up in front of the home. A couple of guys step out, and one of them tries to unlock the house with a key. He fails to unlock the door, so he looks for another way in. The back door is locked, and he heads upstairs through the fire escape. He unlocks the escape hatch and makes his way inside. He spots Meg and Sarah sleeping, but ignores them and heads downstairs to open the front door. The 3 robbers make their way in. Burnham, Junior, and Raoul have a meeting. They expected the house to be empty, but Junior messed up, thinking that the house would be in escrow for 14 business days, and not 14 consecutive days. Burnham wants to leave, but Junior and Raoul want to finish the job. Junior apologizes for his mistake, but convinces Burnham he needs the money for his kid, and he agrees to complete the job as long as they don't hurt anyone. Sarah can't fall asleep and gets up to use the bathroom. She goes to the panic room to turn off the light, but looks at the security camera feed and sees the 3 robbers inside her home. Junior accidentally kicks a basketball, and it makes a resounding sound as it bounces, confirming they're inside. She runs to get Sarah, and the 3 robbers hurry to catch them. She wakes up Sarah, and they use the elevator to avoid getting captured. First, they head all the way down, but when Meg realizes they're all downstairs, they reset the elevator to go up. They sprint into the panic room right before Junior can catch them. Burnham tries to hack the security system but fails. Meg tries the phone inside the panic room, but realizes she never finished setting it up. The 3 robbers are worried that she's calling using a landline in the panic room, but Burnham tells them that he works for the phone company and that he checked to make sure that the phone line wasn't established. Meg tries to make a bluff and uses the PA system to notify them that the police are on the way. They don't believe her and curse at her. Burnham mimes that they have no phone, surprising Meg and Sarah. She asks them what they want, and they reveal that what they want is the money that's hidden in the panic room. The robbers try to think of a plan. Burnham laughs at the irony of the situation, saying that he was the architect of the panic room, and it's working fabulously. They decide to stay and play the waiting game, since it'll be impossible for them to get inside, but eventually Meg and Sarah will have to get out. They barricade all exits to prevent Meg and Sarah from escaping. Raoul and Junior get impatient and try to break in through the bottom. Burnham ridicules their idea and calmly thinks of a way to get them out. He grabs a propane tank and heads to the panic room. He breaks the wall next to the panic room door and starts drilling a hole. He drills a hole big enough for a hose to slide in, and on the other side of the wall is the air vent to the panic room. Meg listens and peeks into the air vent, but is met with the pungent odor of gas and coughs violently. Sarah finds a small drain that leads outside, and they try to use that to breathe. Junior and Raoul decide to let more gas in, but Burnham tells them if they pass out or die, then they will never get inside. Meg uses duct tape to cover the air vent, but the airflow is too strong. Meg finds a fire blanket and a lighter inside the emergency equipment box. She lights a flame in the vent and covers herself and Sarah. It starts an explosion, burning Junior's face and exploding the propane tank. Sarah looks through the small hole that leads outside and grabs a flashlight. She starts shining SOS in Morse code at their neighbor, hoping they see it. Their neighbor sees the light and gets up but doesn't get the message, and closes his blinds. Raoul and Junior talk in private. Raoul complains about Burnham's behavior, and that he wants more money. Junior agrees to give him 1/3 of the money they find. Burnham eavesdrops, worrying about what they will do to him after they find the money. Meg sees them arguing on the cameras and remembers she has a phone on the nightstand that the robbers missed. She runs out of the room and finds it under the bed. She grabs it but knocks over a lamp, alerting the robbers. She barely makes it back inside before they catch her. Junior panics after seeing the charger next to the nightstand, but Burnham tells him that there is no service inside the panic room. Meg gets no signal inside and thinks of a plan. She remembers that she set up the main line for the house, and if she can get the main phone line, then she can connect the wires to the phone in the panic room. She checks inside the wall of the air vent and sees the main phone line, but it's out of reach. Burnham hears this and unscrews the main phone line cover. He feels relieved when he sees it's not connected, but Junior tells him he didn't disconnect the main phone line. She pulls the whole wire out and begins to connect it to the phone, getting a signal. Burnham rushes to the basement looking for the main phone line power source. Meg calls 911, but they put her on hold. She quickly calls her ex-husband, but only tells him 3 men are inside her home before Burnham destroys the power source. Sarah doesn't believe her father will help them, but Meg snaps and puts her faith in him. Sarah calmly looks at her and tells her that her blood sugar is low and that she's getting dizzy. Meg looks through the emergency kit, but doesn't find anything with high sugar content. Junior gives up. He reveals that his grandfather was the previous owner of the house, and he stashed millions in the panic room. Burnham gets mad that he was only getting a tiny portion of the money and confronts Junior. As Junior walks out, he tells him that he and Raul will find the money and Junior won't get a penny. Junior leaves, but as he opens the door, Raul shoots him in the head, silencing him for good. After they drag his body into the corner, Burnham sees a man in the doorway. Raul holds him at gunpoint and drags him inside. Realizing that Raul is dangerous, Burnham tries to leave, but Raul holds him at gunpoint and threatens him to stay. He looks through the man's wallet and realizes that he's Meg's ex-husband. Burnham holds his wallet to the cameras, and Meg sees them beating her ex-husband up. Burnham tells Raul that if they kill him, Meg will never open the door, and he covers the camera in the room. Due to the stress and low blood sugar, Sarah goes into shock, and Meg goes through some breathing exercises to calm her down. Once she's calmed down, Meg sees Burnham drag an unconscious Raul downstairs. She takes this chance to sneak out and grab Sarah's medicine from her room. She leaves the panic room door open and sees the unconscious body of her husband on her bed. She doesn't stop to look and quietly heads to Sarah's room. Burnham props the unconscious body onto a chair and takes off the mask, revealing they switched Meg's ex-husband and Raul's clothes. Raul gets up from the bed after Meg reaches Sarah's room. She gets the medicine but sees Burnham and Raul about to enter the panic room. Raul waits behind the door as Burnham heads inside to get rid of the security tapes. Meg sees Raul's position and charges into him, catching him off guard. Before she can get inside the room, Raul throws her, but she grabs his jacket and throws Sarah's medicine into the room. Burnham closes the door, but Raul's fingers are smashed by the door because they were not near the motion sensors. Raul tries to press the open button, but Burnham stops him because now Meg has Raul's gun. She quickly grabs it and runs over to the speaker, begging them to let Sarah go. Burnham agrees to give Sarah the medicine if she goes downstairs so she doesn't shoot them. She runs downstairs and Burnham opens the door to release Raul's fingers. He feels sorry for Sarah, and she helps him administer the medication. Burnham reveals a hidden safe in the ground of the panic room and he starts drilling into it. Meg talks to her ex-husband downstairs when the police ring her doorbell. Worried for her daughter's safety, she talks to them and makes them leave. Meg finds a sledgehammer and starts breaking all the security cameras in the house so she can plan something without Raul or Burnham spying on her. Burnham gets through the safe and instead of finding cash, he finds a stack of papers. He looks through the papers and realizes they're bonds. He counts 22 of them, meaning they have $22 million. Meg gives her ex-husband the gun and puts him into position. Raul and Burnham grab Sarah and leave the panic room. They sneak their way downstairs while Meg hides. When they reach the bottom floor, Meg's ex-husband holds them at gunpoint. Raul puts Sarah in the line of fire, and Meg sneaks behind him and hits him on the head, making him fall over the railing as Burnham runs out the back, but hesitates. Raul runs back up and fights off Meg. He charges into her ex-husband and knocks him and the gun over. Raul has the upper hand, and Sarah jumps on him, stabbing him with her medication needles. He throws her off and is about to smash the hammer into Meg, but Burnham grabs the gun and shoots him, saving her life. The police break in and start swarming the house. Burnham tries to make a run for it, but gets caught as the wind blows away all the money from his hands.